Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of a film about a gearbox strip on an RF. Myself and the young Mr. Snox here, we'll do that kind of thing. We'll props just kind of, if you have a quick look into the workshop, that bike over there. Unfortunately, we haven't got the camera equipment or anything along those lines to
do it right.
to do it right kind of thing. So basically, we're going to have to make this up as we go along with video films and stuff. So we've got an RF here that we can hand over that to Snox. We've got an RF here, so watch what's going on. All of this is going to come on.
I can't see what you're doing. There you go. I'm gonna have to try and get you in.
That'll do. So basically, follow me down here. We'll do this here. This has all got to come off. We'll pull it out. We'll be back in a little while. We'll film it in a bit. Helping us out on this one, but yeah, that moves, so we should, in theory, I'm free. Pull this out now, like this. This is the cassette style gearbox. I'm sorry about the noise in the background, but this is the cassette style gearbox. So this here is all of the gearbox that we've got. This is what we're going to pull out now, put onto the bench. We're going to inspect on what's going on. Apparently we've got a problem on this one with fourth gear, so we're going to have a look. Yeah. Knocking off there.
Yeah, that's it. That's the problem.
So we're going to, at this particular point, we're going to now, we've got the gearbox on the bench and we're going to do a little bit of a strip and find out what's going on. So we're going to take all of these out here, these shafts and stuff, which will take all of the selector rods out. So these will take all the selector forks. They've got that. Then we'll take the actual gear shafts out, pop those onto here. This is really hard to do this like selfie wise, but we'll pop those onto here, then we'll strip them out so we can see what's going on and I can show you how it works, but we'll see how that goes. Okay, so we're gonna strip the two push rods out, the two selector rods out, like that. Yeah, look, see the wear on the actual selector forks there as well. Okay, so that's going to need replacement. Let's have a look at this as well. Actually, apart from a tiny little bit there, it looks good. It looks good. One more here as well. So we're looking for wear marks here, but do you know what? Ah, damn it, it's caught there, look. Yeah, that one's got to go as well. No problems. That one's got to go. And we can just tap this out. Here's the one tricky bit you've got to watch when you're stripping these gearboxes is that washer. That washer goes back on there. So that washer slots on there. That's the one you've got to watch. So if you've got yourself a camera, break out the camera and take a quick photograph of that so you know what's going on. So at this particular point, we'll concentrate on one gear shaft at a time. What I'll do is I'll kind of briefly explain to you. We have done this on another film that we've got, but I will briefly explain to you on what's going on. So if you imagine your gear shafts that are laid out like this, they're laid out like this, and if you imagine the output shaft, which is this one here, because this is on the actual sprocket bolts onto, so the output shaft is the same as the back wheel of your push bike. So if you look at this, the biggest gear is like first gear and the smallest gear is like sixth gear. because we're running a 6-speed, so it's not quite old rally chopper days, but with your Sturmey Archers and stuff. But if you have a look at it, you've got a gear cassette in front of you with 6 gears. The biggest one, if you like I said, imagine the output shaft is like the back wheel of your push bike. So it's 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. Okay, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. Oh, sorry, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. That's it. I need my glasses changing. And then the input shaft, which is the one where the clutch is bolted to, is exactly the same, but it's a mirror effect. So the smallest one is 1st, okay, and the biggest one is 6th. So we'll take this to one side. Then we're going to have a look at the damage on this. So this is where it can get a little bit tricky with the film. So bear with me, folks, on this one. Okay, at this particular point, we're looking, the gears, this is your sliding gear here. So the gears, okay, lock together on this, have a look, on this angle here. These are called the selector dogs. So these lugs here, when you push gear and you push down on it, those selector forks roll around on a drum which push these together. So with this particular drum, there's a little back angle cut on these. Depending on the application, you're looking at a 3 or a 5 degree back cut. So the harder you pull it together, the more effort you put through it, the actual harder it pulls on it. If it was straight, it would kind of potentially could rub, but they run this back angle, which, like I said, which makes it sort of, the harder you pull it, the harder it takes, or the easier, or the harder it is to actually pull. So what we've got here is a situation where we've got, and this is the bit that's tricky. So right here, I don't know if we can sort of run down and see this, but if you have a quick look, the gear, the selector dog, the edge of it has had the edge knocked out of it. I don't know if you can kind of focus in and see that. Now, if not, we'll sort of do another little bit of a test on that one. So just here, let's see if we can roll this around and show you another one. That should be straight, but it's had the edges knocked out of it. Can you see this?
Yeah, got that.
Yeah, that's perfect. That is why that bike is not selecting gears and jumping out of gears properly. So we need to change this gear, the 3rd and 4th sliding gear, and the connecting gear here. So these two, this is one gear here because it's all one piece. This connecting gear here is basically needs replacing. This one here, if there's any damage or any marks or anything along these lines as well, we need to replace that as well. A lot of people sort of say you should change the opposing gear as well, but do you know what? I've spoken to a lot of very, very good engineers in the past, and basically they've kind of gone, well, look, as long as the back angles aren't affected in any way, shape or form, why should you? And do you know what? I tend to agree with them. And these guys are not stupid. They know what they're talking about. So rather than sort of sell parts to people that they don't need, I absolutely agree. But if there's any damage on these here, where they connect together, on this edge here, which it doesn't look to be, I'm going to let that go. So we need 2 gears on that shaft, which is pretty cool. This one's here. Now these are basically, this is the output shaft. So there's a lot more to be sort of seen on this one. Let me go and grab a torch. These are a lot bigger. If you have a look, oh yeah, there's a little bit more damage on this one here, look. So if you have a quick look down here, you can see this damage here. That there.
Yeah.
See the damage on that one. So this sliding gear here, that needs replacing, because that's not acceptable. And obviously the gear that it's going into, if you kind of poke the camera around here, you might be able to just see that there's kind of damage on the edge of this particular gear here. So that damage on that gear, the one it jumps into, the one it slides into, so there's 2 gears on that side. That side looks okay. And this side, again, there is some damage on this gear as well, so it looks like we're going to have to replace a few gears on this one. So basically, the long and short of it is that's the kind of thing that we're looking for. If you want to kind of pull your gearbox apart and sort of have a quick look at what's happening, there's manuals available, no problems, and if you ever need anything, just give us a quick shout and stuff. But we're going to go and run through this and sort of put some prices together and get some gears out. This has taken us probably just under an hour to get to this particular point. So back in a minute.